Alright, hopefully our lighting will be okay. Excuse if it's a little bit weird. Hello friends, welcome to today's video. I'm so glad you're here. If you are new and we have not met, my name is Tanya. Hi. And I like to talk about books on this channel. And today we're doing a good old fashion book haul. I have acquired some books over the last couple months, right? What's new? I keep trying to buy less, but yet you guys know how it goes. If you are a book lover, you know. So I'm gonna try not to make this this video a million minutes long. I'm gonna show you guys no particular order stuff that I have acquired over the years. So thank you so much for watching, and let's get into today's video. This first one was a half price books purchase. It is the book Uprooted. I did actually have this already on my TBR. Sorry again if the lighting's going in and out, it's kind of a goofy filming. But I was also recommended this by, and so this is a fantasy book, and it was also recommended to me by the employee at the store. But basically I'll try to give a little snippet, but I've heard really great things about it. Like I said, it was already in my TBR, so I thought I would pick it up. But basically there is this village, and then he's called the Dragon. He lives in the woods, and then he demands a price. So every 10 years a young woman must be handed over to him without question. And so supposedly I think this woman, or this girl Agnieszka, she gets chosen, I believe, to go. And so just following that, so I don't know if there's going to be some romance elements, maybe, I don't know, but it just looks like a really good fantasy. And again, I've seen it recommended. The person in the store said it was like one of their favorite books, so there we go. That was enough to convince me. All right, the next one, this is one I picked up at my local, not consignment, but like a discount store, and sometimes I find books there. And this was one that I actually got for 50 cents. I don't know if this is, it just said I was interested because it said it was an Oprah Book Club pick, and as a Pulitzer Prize winning author. And I think this is a fiction story. Like, to be honest, I was just curious because like for 50 cents, I was like, I'll try this book out. And it seems to have a lot of awards. So I don't even really know what it is all about because they don't really even tell you on the thing. So if I read this, you'll see it in one of my recent reads videos. But yeah, picked up that one. This next one that I got is Prodigy, and actually my brother is reading this right now. Me and my brother are going through the Legend series by Marie Lu, and so we read the first one, and then I purchased the second one just because I didn't know if, I actually restrained myself and hadn't bought the entire series, and we did enjoy it. It's a dystopian kind of sci-fi, and this in the future kind of book. And so if you are into dystopia, especially like you like Divergent, Hunger Games, that kind of genre, I think you would like this series as well. So this is the sequel to it. I'm not going to go into it because obviously I don't want to give stuff away from the first one, but this is the second book to that series. The next one that I purchased was also one that's been on my list, is Dial A for Aunties. You can see I've already gotten through a little bit. I'm also listening to this as an audiobook right now, and I am enjoying it. It's follows the story of Madeline, I believe. Yeah, Madeline, I think is her name. Like Madeline? I think it's Madeline. I'm not sure. But it's kind of actually like a funny murder mystery, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like rom-com-y in a way. But she has these 4 aunties, and they are like Filipino Chinese, I believe, like their like heritage or this ancestry. I just know that's like an Asian from, I'm trying to remember, I can't remember, Indonesia? I can't even remember exactly. But so it's her 4 aunties, and so when she accidentally, there's a murder that takes place, she murders this guy on their date, and there's more into it obviously in the story. She ends up, calling her aunties to like help her out. But it's actually done pretty well so far. I'm liking it. It's kind of funny, rom-com-y feel to it. But like I said, I saw a lot of recommendations for this one, so I picked this one up as well. Then this next one I actually just got today. I went thrifting, and as always I like to check the book aisle because you never know what you will find. And so I actually was surprised. This was like a big thrifty surprise, that I found the entire trilogy of the To All the Boys I've Loved Before. And this is a young adult. I'm sure probably a lot of you guys know about this. I've heard about it, especially last year when the series came out and stuff like that. Or I know she had some of the series for her shows are on, what was it, like Prime or whatever. anyway, from the author based on her other books as well. But so I know a lot of the books by this author were pretty popular and they had been in my list, but when I came across these, I was like, sweet. I think they were like $4 and I did get one of them for free. At my thrift store, it's like if you buy 4, you get 1 book free, and I bought a few others. So I actually found the whole set, which I was really excited for. So I got, I think it's To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and then P.S. I Still Love You, I believe, and then Always and Forever. So I have never read of these. I know a lot of people have, but I thought it may be fun, just kind of, especially for like, I don't know why these always make me think of like summertime or just fun. I don't know. So I just thought it'd be kind of fun. And again, when I came across these at the thrift store, I was like, yeah, sweet. You know, why not? I'll try it out. If I was fails, I don't like them, I'll pass them on to someone else, but I am excited to finally try this out and to get it for a pretty good price. So then this next one I also found at the thrift store. It is the Dictionary of Lost Words, and this one is also one that is a Reese's book club, Reese Witherspoon's book club pick, and I just want to try it out because I know this is also on Kindle Unlimited, but I like to sometimes like double read. I think it should still be in Kindle Unlimited, but I had started this book actually a few months ago, and it's an interesting concept. So Esme, I believe is her name, so it lives with her dad. I don't remember what time period this is. I would say it's like historical fiction, but she lives with her dad in Oxford, and so her dad is let me make sure I say this like lexicographers, and so they're collecting words for the very first the Oxford English Dictionary. And so she kind of starts realizing, and this concept to me is also again interesting, like the power and the concepts of words. And so she starts collecting other words that have been discarded from the dictionary that these men, like her dad and the other lexicographers, are deeming not important, or maybe, you know, whatever the reason is, they're deeming them not to be added into the dictionary. And so she's kind of learning about like what are these words and what are their meanings, and it also in correlation to women. So I kind of was interested about that because it looks like a lot of these words that are like related to women and women's history and women's lives are being removed from the dictionary. So I just thought that whole idea was kind of interesting and intriguing. Oh yeah, it's set in the early 20th century during the height of women's suffrage movement. So all of that just is an interesting concept. I think like words, dictionaries, the history, the suffrage, I just think all of that just sounded so interesting to me. And again, this is one that has been on my TBR for a while, and I got it for I think $3 at the thrift store. So I thought, why not? If I saw it there, I thought that was a good idea. Now this other one I came across today at the thrift store as well, and this is just one that I just liked it. And so I love also cooking and being in the kitchen. That is one of my other hobbies, and so I love finding just like fun cookbooks, or I don't know, just cookbooks. I enjoy cookbooks, but they can be expensive. This is one actually I just got because it's a vintage copy of the French Chef Cookbook by Julia Child. I love Julia Child so much, and just her history of who she came to be and how she became a chef, and just everything about her I really enjoy. And I was trying to find her other book, her original, oh my gosh, why can't I think of words? The Art of French Cooking, but that one, you know, you don't always come across at the thrift store. But this is just from, what is this copy from, like 1960, I think, I forget what it said. 1968, I believe, and it just has, you know, some of her recipes from when she did her show, her cooking show, and I just really liked it, and I thought it also displayed in my kitchen on my cookbooks, on my shelf. And yeah, I was just really excited to find like a vintage copy of Julia Child. So it just makes me really happy, and in my kitchen is kind of red themed, so I just thought that was perfect. And it was only, I think, like $4 for this, so I was really excited about this one. Then the next thing, whoop, oh my gosh. So the next book that I got, and probably everybody and their grandma has either gotten it or has been trying to get it, is The Fourth Wing. I have obviously, this, like I said, this was accumulative from the last couple months. So I actually, before it became really popular, I actually got the first print or whatever at Target, and it was like, when I got it, it was for Mother's Day, and I had never even heard the book. There was a whole bunch of them, and I was like, oh, that kind of looks cool, like it has dragons, I'll pick it up. And then I remember like literally the week after, then it was like and everybody's like, you couldn't find copies anywhere. And me and my friend were like, we just happened to get them because, again, we just thought it looked cool because there's dragons. And then it was pandemonium trying to even find a copy. So I was really excited that I was able to get one. It was one of my Mother's Day presents, and I was just so excited. And So I did get this book. I have read it. I love it. Spoiler alert. I will talk more about this in my recent reads video, but this is one that I did pick up, and I think it's crazy to me that some of these just copies of this book are being sold for like obnoxious amounts of money. Like, it's just crazy to me, because I ended up getting this for like $15 at Target, but it's just crazy. But I don't know, I definitely do. This is one of my first, this is my first like sprayed edges copy, so I just really do like it, and it's kind of like pushing me to try to buy more special editions, which is kind of good and bad, because do we need to spend more money on books? No, but are we? Probably, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so I really do, I thought that was really cool. It was nice to see one of these like at Target, because I feel like sometimes there are always a lot of special editions online, and I think if more books started doing that, I think would be really cool, like, you know, to see these editions like at Target and other places that are more like accessible, because I feel like I don't always buy the special editions of other books online. So side tangent, but yes, I got this, really excited to have it, love it. Then because I love that, and then I felt like so then because I loved Rebecca Yarros, that book, I was like, let me buy more Rebecca Yarros books to try them. And I had been seeing a lot of this book, and I didn't even realize that that was the same author, because I kept seeing this book also. Ew, why? Like, this is not even a sticker. I don't care that it's on TikTok, like, just let me take it off, but I can't. I hate that. Anyway, so I have already gotten to this one, but I purchased this one because Target had their buy two get one free sale. So I got this one, The Things We Leave Unfinished. I've heard that this like really is emotional and can break your heart. I don't know, but I'm loving it so far, because it's like historical fiction, dual timelines, dual point of views. There's a love story. It's technically like two love stories. It's about writers. It's just, it sounds so good. I'm really loving it so far. I have a feeling I'm going to love it again, because spoiler alert, I have read multiple Rebecca Yarros books, and I just love everything she has written so far. I have not come across anything that has not been a 4-star or higher for me, so I have high hopes for this as well. And then I also bought this Rebecca Yarros book, The Last Letter, which I've been hearing a lot of things about as well. And this one, I believe, and a lot of her books are also military, because I believe her husband, like her family, they're a military family. But this one, so it talks about, I think there is, I can't even write it. What should I think so. It says, if you're reading this letter, you know the last letter drill. You made it, I didn't. So get off the guilt train, because I know if there was any chance you could have saved me, you would have. So then he says, I need you to do one thing for me, get out of the army and get like to basically where his little sister is, Ella. And so I think basically this, you know, his friend, I'm guessing, he survives the war, and then the brother doesn't. And so then it follows a story of he has to go and basically is kind of following the wishes of his friend who died to like take care of his sister and her kids. And I think that I'm guessing there's going to be a love story, I don't know, but it just sounds so good, and I've heard really great reviews about this one as well. I'm so excited to read it. Then this is one that I was so excited to come across, because I know this has been really popular lately. It just came out, that I found at my discount store for 50 cents. Hardcover, you guys, so exciting. And this one is Meet Me at the Lake. Like I said, it's been pretty popular. It's by the author who did Every Summer After. And I have read this one, so I won't talk too much about it, but it's dual time, like past and present, and it follows the story of Fern and Will, and they met for one day, had like this whole big connection, and then they made plans to meet at her family's resort. It's in Canada, and then he doesn't show up, and then it's like 10 years later, and then she runs into him. Sorry, I'm getting like extra glistening. It's so hot here. Oh, but we gotta film this. So yeah, so that's kind of the story, and then they see each other, and so basically you're kind of finding out what happened in the past compared to what now is happening in the present. But I was so excited for 50 cents to find this, like, yes, so cool. Then I bit the bullet, and I was really excited, and I tried Book of the Month, and I'm keeping it so far. I know it's been kind of a fun way, I think, to try new books. It's just, I don't know, I'm really liking it so far. So this is one that I got last month, I believe in June, and it's a thriller. She started it. I did already read this as well, so I won't, you know, go too much into synopsis, but basically it is a thriller, and then there are these women, Annabelle, Esther, Tanya, and Chloe. They were best friends as children, and then they've moved apart like as adults, and so then they have not spoken with this woman, or well, the girl from when they were younger named Poppy. And apparently there was like something happened in the past and Poppy has kind of separated from them, but they used to be friends, but I think they were kind of like bullies and stuff. And so now it's years later and Poppy's getting married and invites them to this island kind of like bachelor party getaway years later, and they accept it because they're like, oh, it's a free vacation, like what could go wrong? Okay, so I think we know where that's going, but basically like stuff starts happening, and so yeah, that's what this one is. Then the next one that I picked up was Things You Save in a Fire by Katherine Center, and this is the author that did The Bodyguard and Hello Stranger, which I love those. Those are both 5-star reads for me, and I'm trying to actually, a goal of mine is to read all of her books because she's one of those authors like Rebecca Yarros that I feel like I like anything she writes, at least so far that I've read. So I'm really excited to read this one as well, and I picked it up. And this one talks about that there's Cassie Hanwell. She I believe, oh yeah, she's the only female firefighter in her Texas firehouse. And so she, when her mother, a strange and alien mother, asks her to give up her whole life and move to Boston, she's kind of like faced with that. And so, and then supposedly there's a rookie on like the firehouse, at their firehouse, who I think kind of is having feelings for her, and she's trying to be like, nope, I don't have time. So I think it kind of follows that relationship. I think that what happens, and then her maybe with her mom. I'm not sure what all is going on, but I'm just, like I said, I really love all her books, how she writes relationships, and I'm really excited to see what happens there. Then the next one that I got is City of Bones, because I've, again, heard about this a lot. This series has been out for a while. I know there's a lot of different books that are in this series, in this world, and a fantasy. So I think there's like murders happening, there's like demons and shadows and all kinds of stuff. So that's all I really know about it. I don't want to go too much into it. I kind of want to go into a blind, but I've heard lots of really good things, and so I decided to pick it up and add it to my TBR and check it out. And so the last couple books that I have for this haul, this is a book that kind of got me into Book of the Month, and you can see I am reading it. I'm a mood reader, so I have like a bajillion books started at all times, if you notice, but I ended up getting, because I got the initial like starting offer, so I got it for $5 from Book of the Month. And I'll have my, I think it's a referral link or something. I'm not sponsored by them if they ever want to, but I'll just have it down below. I think you might get a discount or something maybe if you guys are wanting to try it. I know that a lot of bigger influencers and booktubers have like discounts, so definitely feel free to use theirs. But if you are interested, I'll just leave it down below for you. But this is the next book, Christina Lauren. This is technically, oh, my dog. No, sir. He's trying to get in while I'm filming. No. And so this one follows the friend Izzy from the first, what is it, Soulmate Equation. And so it's kind of that world. And so if you read that first one, I don't want to give too much away, but it follows that group of friends, and it's her friend who, yeah, who's in this story. And I'm really excited because I've liked pretty much all the a lot of the Christina Lauren books. Not so much one of them, but this, like a lot of the later ones, have been some of my favorites. So I'm just always really excited to try what they have. And then the last one that I hauled, and I have also already read this one as well, is Happy Place by Emily Henry. And probably like a lot of you, I tried to wait for the paperback because I was mad that, you know, they didn't match all the other paperbacks because I have all her other books. But I needed to read so bad. I love Emily Henry's books so much. You probably hear this a lot, but if you have not checked out her books, please do. I feel like they are exactly what I want in a romance book. There's depth. There's so much more than just romance to them. Please just read her books. I feel like you will really enjoy them. She's just one of my favorite authors as well. I discovered her, I think, last year, maybe 2 years ago, and I have read everything she's written. And I just always, she's one of those authors where I will automatically buy it. Like, I'm like, you don't have to tell me twice, I will buy it. So this is, yeah, I picked up this one, and I'm so glad I did. It's really good as well, and I'll talk about it more in a recent reads video. But that is everything for my book haul. Please, thank you if you have watched this far, and share down below what has been maybe one of your favorite purchases in the last couple months or this month. I would love to obviously know more and add them to my own TBR. So thank you guys so much for watching, and then I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.